Hey, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in for my second episode about drugs and recovery. I'm basically going to be talking about my story, of course, because it is about me. But to get real, I would just like to say that I am still in recovery, and addiction is an everyday fight. So bear with me. Now, when I was 15 is when I started smoking marijuana. And at that time, I was just doing it because it was fun and with my friends, and I thought it was the coolest thing to do. And, at that time, it was just that, and then I started doing prescription drugs over the counter. Um, Another thing, just trying to be cool. It wasn't because I was actually upset with anything in my life or anything like that. Um, and even then, that was an effect on me. And later on, as I got older and the things that I went through really started to happen with, my abuse, with things like that, I started to use harder drugs. Um, and I did it then, it was to numb my pain. At that time, it was to numb my pain. I didn't want to feel anything. I I didn't want to face anything. I definitely was living in a dream world, you can say. It wasn't real at all. And as I got older, of course, things started to get worse. Now it definitely became an addiction at this point because now I needed to smoke. I needed to smoke a blunt to wake up. I needed to smoke a blunt to go to sleep, things like that. And my body became used to it and needing it. I went into the shelter, many times, and that'll be another segment. And it was at that time that I met a counselor, which helped me to get my stuff together. And so we did. It wasn't easy. I definitely messed up many more times after that. I've only been clean for 3 years, but it's definitely an accomplishment for me not being clean. And it was definitely hard, and it still is hard. And I would just like to say that, you can do it. If I can, you can. There's nothing so hard that you have to numb. It's always better to face what is bothering you. That's the only way you're going to get through it. I'm so pleased that today I have that wonderful lady that helped me, Miss Beverly Walker, joining us today to help me tell more of my story and the beginning of how I started my recovery. Thank you so much. Welcome, Miss Beverly. Welcome, Miss Beverly. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would
Okay, hi. Good.
thank you, Miss Beverly, for coming. So yeah, I was telling my viewers about my my recovery process and how you helped me with it. And what do you basically remember about me?
Oh, yes, Elsie. Okay, all right. So how long has it been? Like 5, 6 years, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. So I remember when you came in to join the program, and you didn't come in really for recovery, right?
Right. No, of course not. Of
No,
course
no,
not,
seriously,
right?
no.
No, I
Yeah,
did. I did come
because
for recovery. I did.
you did? You
Yeah.
did? Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Let's say that. Okay. So what I remember about you is you you wanted to stop using, but it was a struggle for you because of all the issues you were going through. You had one child and the other child wasn't with you, so you had that, that issue of wanting your other child but needing to get clean and sober that you can go to the courts and fight, to get custody of your other child. Then the environment you were in,
Mhm.
everybody was using around you, so that was a struggle for you. And you had a lot of when I first met you, a lot of issues that you didn't really want to face. You didn't want to really talk about because
Right.
you didn't know me. You had a lot of trust issues with people.
Mhm.
and and authority figures, as as they say. So you were just going day by day when you met me, like getting to know me, and didn't like the groups, but then start participating in the groups and was very, very vocal in your groups and starting to understand the process. And like they say in recovery, relapse is a part of the recovery. We don't want to tell everybody, okay, it's okay to go out and relapse, but
Right.
it is sometimes. It's hard for some people, it's difficult for some people, and sometimes they will go through the process. Now we say reoccurrence. We don't
Right.
say relapse anymore. So you
Okay.
have to go through. Yeah, we say reoccurrence.
Okay.
They don't want us to use that term anymore. So you used to have a lot of those reoccurrence as you go along,
I
but
did.
but I knew you wanted it, and that's a part of sometimes a lot of people don't understand. There's like two sides of you. One really wants to stop, but
Mhm.
the other side has been doing it for so long, don't know how to stop.
Mhm.
And so it's like a struggle. It's like good and bad, like and then everything else around you, if it's not completely positive or support what you're doing, it becomes even more difficult. So
Mhm.
that's what I see you struggle with. And what I loved about you, as time goes by, because you were with me for a very long time, like a good year, right? A little
Yes,
bit
about
over a
two
year.
years. Yeah.
Right. And so what I learned about you is you started to develop this honesty with me. You would just tell me everything. And that's when when a person is on the way, if you want to go on that way to recovery, they start to get honest with self. So if they're honest with self, they can get honest with others.
Right.
Because when you're not honest with self, you can't be honest with anyone else.
Right.
And so you used to start coming down. Remember, you would show up 5:30 in the office. Miss Bev, I need to talk to you. I know it's not my time for my session, but I really
Right.
have to talk to you. This is
Right.
what was bothering me. And so I know the process was working for you. You were getting to get comfortable with self,
Mhm. Mhm.
getting to understand your issues, getting comfortable with your issues, that
Mhm.
you can begin to address your issues. And a lot of times when you're running from self, if you're running from self, you can't, there's no way you can help yourself when
Right.
you're running from yourself. So, that's the change I saw in you until, that day, you bye-bye.
I know, I know. I remember though, you were right though, I remember, everything bothering me and me just wanting basically to numb it. What I mean? I just wanted
Yeah,
to, numb it and not have to feel it, especially with the circumstances I was, dealing with there and everything you said is right. I just how I kind of even after I left the shelter, I wasn't clean. It did take me
right,
at least another couple of years before I actually was like, I gotta do this.
right,
And
right.
it was just I definitely agree with you though. Like I
So
but
what was your turning point?
my turning point was my kids. It really always came down to my kids. I just wanted more time with my oldest, like as my situation. I just wanted to do it for them. I didn't want them to grow up and see me like this and be like, oh, okay, then I can do this. Cause it's like a
Right.
it just follows like
Learned behavior. Yes.
yes. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want my kids to do that. I wanted to give them a better life. And it's not, being, I would like to say, being high wasn't helping me. You know what I mean? It really wasn't. I didn't want to face anything. And then I think it was more of a fear, a
Yeah.
fear of maybe like me not being able to do it or already
Yes.
like telling
Yes.
myself that I couldn't
Yes.
do it without
Yes.
even
Yes.
trying.
Yes.
How long do you think it took for me to kind of like, you know, catch on with you, Miss Beverly? Because, you were,
Listen, um, I think you were very I think you already knew what it was. It's a sense of denial sometimes people go through. Fighting what is, this is what's going on with me. This
Mhm.
is what I need to do. This is what, but the denial of it, when you're in denial, you can't go forward.
Right.
And I think even even up to the day when you left the shelter and moved into your apartment, I knew that you were going to struggle still. But the thing is, some people process just goes the way it has to go, but you were on your way, and I had confidence that you'll get there because you said I remember something you said to me, that you're just sick and tired. You were sick or tired of waking up feeling the way you feel. And sometimes for some people, that's what it takes also, getting sick and tired,
Right.
getting sick and tired, being up all night, getting high, then waking up the next day feeling drained.
Right.
Though, and then you have to realize what you did the night before. You don't feel good about yourself. And
Hmm.
then, you have your children there looking at you,
Right.
knowing maybe there's which we know they know,
No, the
eventually
kids
they
know.
know.
Kids know.
Yes.
Yes.
So you did not like that, like you said, and you had, and like I saw your first segment about the domestic violence, you had a lot of trauma also, that you didn't, you had so many things that played a part in your addiction, that you needed to address it one by one by one. You were trying to address a lot of things all at once. Sometimes you cannot do that.
Right.
Sometimes you have to prioritize the list of what you need to address one by one by
Right.
one, until you get, and you are always moving fast. Oh,
Yeah.
remember I always tell you that you have ADHD.
Right.
You didn't want to
I
stay
still move
still.
fast. I still move fast. And I think
Uh,
that was kind of a
Wherever
little bit
you're
my,
in group, you wanted to get up and go, like, sit down. Where are you
get out of
going?
here.
Yes, you wanted to keep going. Yes, yes, because I don't know what you were chasing, something. I don't know what. I don't know what
And
it
that was
was,
the
but
thing, like I
yes,
couldn't stop and sit still. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you said, I was trying to do everything at once. Like I'm gonna, tackle each problem all together. And you're right, you can't. You gotta do, one by one. And even now,
right.
I've been clean 3 years, you know what I mean?
Good
And
stuff.
I'm,
Very good.
and every day is a struggle, every day is a
Yes,
struggle. I was telling my viewers that, every day is a struggle with addiction. You can't drop the bar and be like, oh, I'm okay today. You know what I mean? Because just like that, something like, especially with me, I'm an emotional person. You know that
right,
everything gets
right,
to me. You know what I mean? I'm
right,
like,
right.
no, but now, I've found other, how do you say, things to do, besides getting high. And I was
Yeah.
wondering if you wanted to give, any tips to any of my viewers who are going through addiction, or you know what I mean, or need help with anything like that.
Yeah. Um, addiction is it's not as so black and white sometimes. Been in this business for over 23 years. I seen everybody's addiction, and the way it goes differently for everybody. But one thing I know, to overcome addiction, meaning to go into remission, and have a recovery, to get into recovery and to live a healthy lifestyle, to get there, it's all about honesty. You have to be honest, because if you go to a therapist, a psychiatrist, a counselor, a life coach, a program,
Right.
outpatient,
Right.
inpatient, I don't care what.
Right.
And you're sitting and you're talking to that person, and you're asking, give me some insight of what to do, or help me, and you're telling them a lie, then you're not going to be able to go forward, or try to you have to. And it's hard, it's very difficult to be honest sometimes when it hurts. Like you say, it's more a lot of emotional pain.
Mm-hmm.
But what I think is the first step is to go. You never know what can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Go, give it a chance. you know Go in and say, this is me. I don't know how much I can tell you. I don't know if I want to tell you anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that I have an addiction, a drug problem, an alcohol, but whatever it is, and I need help, but I don't know. That's being honest. I
Mhm.
really don't trust this. So then how you present is how the person who's going to help you, or if you're in a program where there's groups and support groups, they will know where you're coming from. So maybe they will know how to approach you. You
Mhm.
know, this person doesn't believe in that they can, and some people don't believe that they can get clean.
Right.
They don't get clean. So, if you don't believe in it, you should say it. But for some part of you, you want to get clean, so you're coming to somebody for help. So
Right.
you say it. It's all about, for me, for what I do, I always say, and if you remember, I always say, just be honest with me. Remember, I used to say that, just be honest with me.
Mhm.
Tell me you sit here and you think I'm, excuse me, full of shit.
Right.
I'll accept that, because then I know where you're coming from. So it's my job, to use my skills to present to you, maybe to help you see things in another light, that
Right.
you can take it from there. And sometimes a lot of people who are going to, there's so much, so much turmoil, so much trauma, so much, you call it demons, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
and they don't know how to pass that.
Right.
And so it becomes denial. It becomes, you minimize your use, rationalize you, whatever it is. And so there's no sense of honesty. So they don't. So if you don't have any honesty, how can change something about yourself or
Right.
address your issues if you're not being honest?
Right.
And sometimes it takes time to get to that point.
Right.
When I met you, you weren't straight up with me with
No, of
everything, but
course not. I
and you
wasn't.
came and you came, and we work on it. And then some people, and I say, what I always say also is, you have to go where you feel that you can get some connection to the person you're asking to help you. Because if
Mhm.
you're not connected to the where you're going, and you're not feeling comfortable with yourself, there's a possibility you won't open up. You won't even give it a chance, because you're not connecting, whatever that is. Find an AA, NA, find a program, find a therapist, you have to feel like, because I always hear a lot of my patients come in and say, well, oh, Miss Walker, Miss Bev, wow, remember, this is the first time I feel connected to somebody, because I used to go here, there, and
Yeah.
can't I couldn't talk.
Mhm.
Sometimes that's like number one right there. If you're
Right.
not connected to the people who you're going for help, then you won't get that help, because you're
Right.
not open to the process. So it's a give and take for everybody. I think everybody have to know what they're looking for. What is it that you're looking for? What kind of help do you want? What
Mhm.
is the issues that's connected to your addiction that you really need? Like, there's a lot of mental health going on out there,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's connected to addiction. So, what is it? Is it more than just using? What's
Right.
going on with you? And
Right.
so you have to know. What do you need? A counselor who's very strict, like, I
Right.
mean, or do you need somebody that more compassion, more soft? People work with different types of people, and
Mhm.
sometimes you have to find what works for you. What kind of person you're looking for to help you, or program. Yeah, that's my advice.
Well, no, I definitely agree with you because I've been to programs. I've been to uh in like residential programs. I've been to the
Right,
adult one. I've been to the child one. And yeah, I basically bullshitted through it. I didn't really
yes,
want it to work. I just wanted to get it over with. But I kind of feel like when something is, bothering you, especially with me with addiction, it doesn't just go away. And it kept coming back. It kept coming back and making me feel the same way, not guilt, but frustration and being tired of it. Enough is enough, you know what I mean? And
right,
I definitely agree with you on that. Unless you want it to work, it's not gonna work. You can't go in like half-ass.
right, right.
Miss Beverly, so one last question, what made you become a counselor?
Okay. I don't know. At times, they tell us in this, in this work, work, that I do.
Mhm.
You got to be very careful how you do self disclosure and stuff. So sometimes, we can use it as a tool, and we use it to the, you know. But for me, as I come from a background of abuse,
Mhm.
and I'm an only child, and I remember not being able to talk to anybody or open up to anybody because trust was a big issue for me. Very, 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 very trust. I could even begin to tell you that story. And so find myself in a strange country because I'm not, you know, and so being in a strange country and with this abuse, I had to just take off and just try to help my sanity. And from that, I realized that if there's one of me, which is me, and I feel the way I feel at 15, 16, and there's no one to turn that I can trust, or no one to help me, I need I need to I need to be a counselor. First, I wanted to be a social worker
Okay.
that I can help others. And so, God, and I believe in my higher power. So
Mhm.
I just believe He had a work cut out for me because I was going towards working for adolescents
Okay.
and going to school and everything. And then the curves keep turning.
Mhm.
So I want to go this way, and then something, I got an internship, and then I was fall right into the substance use disorder, the mental health. Then I went upstate and I worked and so then I realized, I said, this is where I belong, helping women and children. And there was a lot of issues, same issues, they were there. And the trust, a
Mhm.
lot of people come from abuse,
Mhm.
a lot of people don't trust, they have trust issues, a lot of people don't, so I was, and I connected, first I worked with the male population, and then my last stop with women and children. And
Mhm.
that's where I realized that this is where I belong, just helping people, because I know it's very hard to open up to somebody and talk to somebody. And I just felt like that's where God gave me that gift to just work with people. I can talk to anybody.
Mhm.
I can understand. I can have empathy. I can cry with you. I can laugh with you. I can get sad. I can get, everything. I know those emotions, and I know how to understand a person where they're coming from. So I realized that's my gift. I realized that, and that's what I went on, and that's the direction I took to help people, and that's a passion I have very intensely.
Well, you definitely have a gift because you helped me so much, Miss Beverly. Thank you so much for, joining
Yes.
with me on my
Well,
show.
thank you. I am so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank
Oh my
you. Thank you
God.
so much, Miss Beverly.
Yes, very
I'm
proud of
trying.
you.
I'm trying.
Yes.
I want to
And
reach other people, you know what I mean?
and also we thank Camelot,
Yes,
Camelot,
thank
that's
you,
it.
Camelot.
Yes,
Yay.
Camelot.
Woo, woo,
Yes, yes.
Camelot. I'll make sure that I put in in my description, the number if anybody needs to call Camelot
Yes.
or,
Thank you so
if
much.
they need to
Yes.
speak to anybody. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Miss Beverly.
Yes.
Have a
Yes.
wonderful
Yes.
day.
You
God
too. And
bless.
thank you. Thank
Thank
you. Thank
you.
you. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Bye,
Bye.
Miss Beverly. Thank you so much, Miss Beverly, for joining me and helping me tell my story. I am so appreciative of you because without you, I wouldn't be where I am today. I hope you guys enjoyed my story, and I hope that you see that things can change and you can change things as long as you keep on trying. So, I'm going to end my show with some word of wisdom. Change the world by being yourself. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Love you. Let's get real.